Hello guys, welcome to issue 18 of the Mortal Realms. Now this is a very important issue, particularly for me and this channel, but for more reasons than that. So for me and the channel, we've got another paint update, which means that we've got another 2 weeks until we get back into the models, which also means that my painting videos are going to be live by the time the next issue, issue 19, comes up. So what I've been doing is I've been going back and recording one big paint update that will bring us from issue 1 through to issue 18. And then I'll be doing weekly painting videos. So in the background, I've been going through each issue, doing all the painting required to bring us up to where we are now. And then they'll go weekly from then. This also means that I'm bringing back the playthroughs of the missions at the end of the magazine. So I'll be going right back to my last playthrough and picking up from there. The only difference is that it will be with the painted models. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, what is more important is that along with issue 18, we've got a new battle map, which I will show you later on. We'll get to the playthrough and have a little chat about that, but I'll show you the battle map then. We've also got two paints. Standard paint, Leadbelcher. You can never have too much Leadbelcher. And then we've got a base paint, Dryad Bark, which is great for me because it's a paint that I don't already own. So that is good as well. So let's have a look through the magazine. Okay, so we've got the Anvils of Heldenhammer, paint with Dryad Bark and Leadbelcher, and new battle mat, The Realm of Life. Okay, so in this issue, you've received two new paints with this issue, Dryad Bark and Leadbelcher. Dryad Bark is a dark brown that is ideal for all sorts of details on your models. And Leadbelcher is a darker silver that is perfect for base coat of many of your models' weapons. In this issue's paint guide, you'll add these colours to your Sigmarite Mausoleum terrain. We'll also show you how to paint these colours onto your Nighthaunt and Stormcast Eternals in later issues. Happy hobbying, Ian. Okay, so we've got Anvils of Heldenhammer. Then we've got the Cities of Sigmar. Nighthaunt Part 2. In the second part of your introduction to the Nighthaunts, you will learn how terrifying it is to face the ghostly hordes in battle. Then we've got Destruction 1, Forces of Destruction. The Forces of Destruction rampage across the mortal realms, leaving a path of carnage behind them. Then we've got information on one of the battles, the Battle of Verdia. The Anvils of the Heldenhammer confront Nurgle's gruesome Maggotkin in the fortress and wilds of the Realm of Life. Then we've got a paint guide, which is going to show us our new paints on the Sigmarite Mausoleum. And then we've got our playthrough issue 18, In the Domain of Death. A guide to the last phase to be introduced to your games, the Battle Shock phase, where units must test their bravery or flee the battlefield. Okay, so Anvils of Heldenhammer. The Anvils of Heldenhammer are darkened, brooding heroes from a much older era. They have come to embrace the death they once feared. The warriors of this black armoured storm host are based in the realm of death, Shyish. Their greatest stormkeep, the Grand Necropolis, stands in the city of Lethis, at the heart of the underworld known as Styx. They also have a strong presence in the city of Anvilgard in Akshi. The sacrosanct chambers of the Anvils of Heldenhammer are extensive. They are closely tied to the realm of death. Their flesh is corpse pale, and they are feared by many of Shyish's citizens. Right, okay. So we've got their heraldry here. I really like the look of this one. Gaislain Sindaris. Gaislain Sindaris. He's a Decimator Prime. He bears the iconography of the Paladin Conclaves. That is awesome. Okay, now we're on to Cities of Sigmar for the Order section. The Cities of Sigmar are the greatest example of civilization and hope in the mortal realms. They are gleaming metropolises built around towering stormkeeps. Within their walls, Elf Druidin and human exist peacefully alongside one another. Lots more awesome information there. Then we've got Nighthaunt Part 2. The Nighthaunts are no longer content to lurk in the edges of civilization, preying upon the weak. Now they have gathered into huge spectral armies bent on vengeance. Each of the Geists have been condemned to an afterlife of damnation and torture by Nagash's cruel curses. There is no relief, only endless death. Okay. Then we move on to Forces of Destruction. The rampaging hordes of destruction plunge headlong into battle at the slightest provocation. They are driven only by the primal need for violence and a desire to crush, stamp, and tear down the works of the civilized races. And here we've got Gorkamorka. Gorkamorka is the two-headed god of destruction. Each head has its own personality. Though they are similar, the two sides of Gorkamorka often clash. When they do so, they split into two gods, Gork and Mork. Gork is more ferocious, but Mork is more cunning. And we can see we've got two of the factions in there, the Ironjaws and the Bone Splitters. The Ironjaws consider themselves the biggest and strongest orcs. They are the armoured fist of Gorkamorka's hordes, marching into war clad in metal plate armour and wielding giant brutal axes. They represent the brutal side of the orc race, eschewing cunning in favour of overwhelming strength and force of arms. And then we've got the Bone Splitters. They are considered weird even by the other orcs. They have lost themselves to the great green god Gorkamorka. There is no foe these hunters cannot run down, and when possessed with battle fury and weird magic, they are capable of destroying even the most well-equipped and heavily armoured of armies. Okay, then we move on to the Battle of Verdia. Beyond the city walls of Hammerhall Gyra lie the green expanses of Verdia, the vine-thick forests of Nurgle's foul Maggotkin. Their greedy hearts set upon despoiling nature and corrupting the entire region with their foul diseases. In response, the Anvils of Heldenhammer have sent an army beyond the walls to confront their foes and smite them. Very cool. Okay, then we've got our paint guide. So Dryad bark is going to be painted onto any of the sort of ground soil areas of our mausoleum. Lead Belcher is going to go onto all of our gates and fences. And that's it for this week. It does add some nice new detail to what I've already got. Okay. Playthrough for issue 18, In the Domain of Death. Now this doesn't use our new battle map, but I'll show you that in a minute. So it uses the small one, and what have we got? We've got 5 Sequitors up against 10 Chain Rasps. So this is going to teach us about the Battle Shock phase. The Battle Shock phase represents units of warriors fleeing the battlefield as casualties mount, falling back to regroup after the battle, or even disappearing in flash of light as their grip on reality fades. This is done by taking a Battle Shock test for each unit that has lost models during the turn. Instructions for Battle Shock tests are presented in the playthrough. You'll notice that the War Scrolls in this playthrough have been updated with a Bravery characteristic. You will need to have the War Scrolls at hand during your playthrough, as you will need to refer to your unit's Bravery characteristic in the Battle Shock phase. Okay, so basically we've got Sequitors versus the Chain Rasp Horde. And you can see that Sequitors have a Bravery of 7, and Chain Rasp Horde have a Bravery of 6. And I'll show you what you do with that. So you do it at the end of the battle round. I'll show you what to do with that in a minute. So here we go, Battle Shock phase. Both players take a Battle Shock test for each unit that has had model slain during the turn. The player whose turn it is tests first. So choose a unit that's lost models. And if we look at the Sequitors, they've lost 1 model. Okay, just in this representation here. Roll a dice, add 1 to the result for every slain model the unit has suffered. So you can see here, they roll a 6 plus 1 for the model, so that's a Battle Shock test of 7. So basically, when you look at your bravery, however many more than the bravery score that test comes up, that's how many models you have to take away. So if, for example, there was 2 Sequitors slain in that round, that would have made that 8, which would have been 1 more than the bravery, which means would have removed 1 more model. So it goes on to explain here, if the modified roll is greater than the unit's bravery characteristic, the battle shot test has been failed. If it's lower, it has been successful. For each point by which the modified roll exceeds the unit's bravery characteristic, 1 model in that unit must flee. Models that flee count as slain. And you decide which ones you want to take. And then after that, it's your opponent that takes the go next. But we'll come back to all this soon when I do this playthrough. Again, it shows you a example here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got 5 chain rasps that are slain. And then at the end, they roll a dice and there's a 3. So 5 plus the 3 from the dice means you've got 8. And on a bravery of 6, that means that they have to lose 2 more models. So I hope that makes sense. I will explain it again when we do the playthrough. And I'm hoping to get all the playthroughs up to date in the next 2 weeks. So if you don't understand it fully, either drop a message in the comments and I'll explain it further, or wait for that playthrough and I'll be able to take you through the action there. Okay, so that's it. Now we don't have any additional war scrolls in this issue. So sometimes when you get to the end of the mission, it gives you the war scrolls for a few more models, and they haven't done that here. Okay, so here we go. So here's some important stuff. From issue 21, Enter the Realm of Life. So here's what we've got. So we've got all of this terrain is available from in the Warcry range. So you can see here there's like a bell tower thing here. That is in the starter kit, as are these 2 sets of ruins here. These are both from the starter kit as well. But then we've got 1 more statue here. That is from the, I think, Shattered Dominions or Dominion Ruins or something like that. So that is from a different Warcry box as well. But all of this stuff is already available on Warcry. And I actually already own all of this, except obviously for the battle mat. Okay, so here we go. Very interesting. So on one side, we've got some lush green stuff, and again, this is the shape of the actual Warcry terrain that we are going to get. It's a really, really great terrain set as well. Really, really cool stuff. Now, on the image that we saw in the magazine, we didn't see these bits here, but these are definitely from the Warcry terrain as well. So I am assuming that we're going to get that as well. So that's one side, and obviously there's our statue. And on the other side, we've got, this matches up exactly to our existing battle mat. So this just creates a larger play space for what we've already got. There we go. And I'm assuming that the 3rd battle mat that we receive will follow in a similar vein. So let's see what we've got coming up in the next 2 weeks. So next week, we've got a Spirit Torment, the Knight of Shrouds, and Guardian of Souls. So that's 3 characters, which is pretty awesome. But then issue 20, this fantastic mounted hero here. So we've got the Lord Arcanium and Evocator Prime. So we get both of those, 2 more characters. So in 2 issues, we get 5 heroes, which is amazing. Really, really cool. So that is it for this week. Very much looking forward to these. So again, Hachette are sending these out sort of bi-weekly. So Hachette sending these out bi-weekly if you're collecting from the shops. So interestingly enough, this one doesn't come out until Wednesday in the shop. So I've managed to get it a couple of days early. And the reason I've managed to do that is I also subscribe via Hachette, and I managed to bump up my subscription. So I started to get them in time with everything else. So you'll probably notice that a few of the issues going forward you'll get a bit earlier from me, and that's just because I'm doing both at the moment. But anyway, so thanks for watching, guys, much appreciated. A thank you to all my subscribers who've reached out to me in the last couple of weeks. I've had a few emails from some of you out there, so thank you very, very much. If you want to email me about the channel or anything I'm doing, or request anything to be done, you can do. It's just mike@foible.co.uk. Drop me a line because it'd be good to hear from you anyway. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. It is much appreciated. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And I'll catch you very soon. See ya.